dreams. We all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to be here tonight to share some tales from my days as a marine engineer. Now, you might be wondering what it's like working in the depths of the ocean. Let me tell you, it's a world filled with both challenges and hilarity. So, fasten your seatbelts or, in our case, life vests, and stay tuned for some deep-sea comedy that's guaranteed to keep you afloat. While working as a marine engineer, this is what my manager said about my work. Rusty, they say your navigation skills are so bad that even GPS says, I give up. Picture this. My executives comment on my work went something like this. If your job involved finding Nemo, we'd all still be looking. Just this Wednesday my colleague said this about me. You once tried to fix a leak with a no swimming sign. I've heard some things in my time, but what my superior said about my work was truly memorable. Your idea of repairing a ship is duct taping it together. So, on a Friday, my team came up with this gem about my work. You sunk more vessels than a fleet of pirates. Guess what my team said about my work during one of our meetings? You once mistook a lighthouse for a giant flashlight. I had to hold back laughter when my team commented on my work like this. You're so bad at marine engineering, even the fish have life vests. I've heard some things in my time, but what my superior said about my work was truly memorable. They say you have a sinking feeling about your career, and it's not just the ships. I couldn't believe it when my executive remarked this. You've been banned from all boat-themed board games for causing too much chaos. Ever had your work summed up by your chief in a single sentence? Mine did. And it was, you tried to install Wi-Fi on a submarine and wondered why it didn't work underwater. Guess what my team said about my work during one of our meetings? Even seaweed has better buoyancy than your engineering skills. So, my manager dropped this gem about my work recently. You once tried to use a snorkel as a periscope. My employer's feedback was quite the surprise when he said, your manager called you Captain Calamity for a reason. Picture this. My team's comment on my work went something like this. You thought barnacles were just pirate insults? I had to hold back laughter when my team commented on my work like this. They say your engineering reports are so confusing that even dolphins can't decipher them. My team's feedback on my work was quite the surprise. You tried to conduct a ship inspection with a metal detector. So, my team leader came up with this singer about my work. You're the reason we have the saying, it's not rocket science, it's just Rusty's job. In the realm of unbelievable feedback, my administrator said this about my work. You once asked a crab for advice on hull maintenance. You won't believe what my team said about my work recently. You're so bad at marine engineering that even the mermaids avoid your work sites. It's like my superintendent woke up and decided to roast my work with this comment. If shipbuilding were an Olympic sport, you'd be the undisputed champion of oops, I did it again. Just this Wednesday my colleagues said this about me. They say your welding skills are so bad that barnacles have more grip than your joints. Last week, my controller threw this curved ball. If you were a lighthouse keeper, ships would deliberately steer away from your light. Here's a good one. My team's take on my work was, you once tried to build a submarine with a sunroof. You'll get a kick out of what my manager said. Even a rubber duck in a bathtub has better flotation than your designs. We went for a team building and my team leader dropped this gem. Your blueprint drawings look like abstract art to everyone but you. I had to hold back laughter when my administrator commented like this. You've been banned from all seafood restaurants for excessive water damage. Let me share what my team had to say about my work just yesterday. Your idea of a successful repair job is one where the ship doesn't sink immediately. Guess what my manager said during our meeting? You once tried to patch a hole in a boat with chewing gum and a prayer. One of my colleagues dropped this gem on Monday. You've been labeled as the Titanic of marine engineers. Here's a good one. My head of department's take on my work was, they say you're so bad at your job that even seaweed mocks you. Let me share what my director said about my work on Tuesday. You once mistook a buoy for a beach ball. You won't believe the hilarious thing my manager said. Your manager jokes that the only way you'd make a good engineer is if you were building sandcastles. My boss's perspective on my work took an unexpected turn when he said, "They say your work is like a ship with no captain lost at sea." The other day, my boss had this to say about my work. "You tried to install a water slide on a cargo ship and called it recreation." One day, this is what my supervisor said about my work. "You thought marine biology was just a fancy term for fishing." Another day, I went to work and my manager said, "You once used a compass to find your way out of a straight hallway." Just when I thought I'd heard it all, my manager said this about my work. "They say your marine engineering career is proof that even the ocean has a sense of humor." Picture this. My executive's comment on my work went something like this. "You tried to paint a ship using a water gun." So, on a Friday, my team came up with this gem about my work. "You're the reason," they say. "It's a sinking feeling, just like Rusty's career." So, there I was on a coffee break when one of my colleagues said to me, "Even a beached whale has better navigation skills than you." Just when I thought I'd heard it all, my team said this about my work. "They say you have a shipwreck-tacular career in marine engineering." While working some extra hours, my team said this. "If you were in charge of building Noah's Ark, we'd all be in deep water." I've heard some things in my time, but what my superior said about my work was truly memorable. "You once tried to fix a propeller with bubblegum and a paperclip." I couldn't believe it when my executive remarked this. "Even the Kraken refuses to attack your ships out of pity." You won't believe what my team said about my work recently. Your manager claims you invented a new term, suboptimal marine engineering. Picture this. My executive's comment on my work went something like this. "They say your blueprints look like abstract art made by a 3-year-old. You won't believe the hilarious thing my manager said. "You once tried to inflate a lifeboat with a bicycle pump." We went for a team building and my team leader dropped this gem. "Your work is so bad that even a compass can't find its way out of your projects." Guess what my manager said during our meeting? "They say you have a sinking suspicion about your own abilities." So, there I was on a coffee break when one of my colleagues said to me, "You thought sonar was just a fancy term for fish radar." Picture this. My team's comment on my work went something like this. "You once tried to measure water depth with a yardstick." So, my manager dropped this gem about my work recently. "Even the Bermuda Triangle avoids your work sites." So, my team leader came up with this singer about my work. "They say your welding skills are so poor that even glue would be an upgrade." While working some extra hours, my team said this. "You thought barnacles were just oceanic fashion accessories." Let me share what my team had to say about my work just yesterday. "You tried to make a ship unsinkable by filling it with beach balls." I had to hold back laughter when my team commented on my work like this. "They say your engineering reports are so confusing that even octopuses can't figure them out." So, on a Friday, my team came up with this gem about my work. "You once tried to build a submarine with Legos." One of my colleagues dropped this gem on Monday. "You're the reason sailors say, 'May the wind be at your back, and Rusty be far away.'" Here's a good one. My team's take on my work was, "They say your work is so bad that even the Loch Ness Monster refuses to surface near your projects." You'll get a kick out of what my manager said. "You tried to install a water slide on a cruise ship and called it deck entertainment." Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed the journey through my turbulent career as a marine engineer. It's been a whirlwind of laughs and mishaps, just like my job. Remember, even though my marine engineering skills may be questionable, I'm always here to keep your spirits afloat. And speaking of floating, my manager once told me, "Rusty, your work sinks, but your jokes float." Thank you for being here and have a good day. See you on the next one.
And we all got dreams, we all want things. But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything?
Hey, I may be the worst at my job, but at least I am entertaining. Leave a comment down below and let me know what your manager is saying about your work. And if you didn't enjoy this show, well, I promise I'll try even harder to disappoint you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, stay employed and keep smiling.